Hello friends, it's Suzi Perez here, Vinmaps founder, wine lover, wine explorer, wine cartographer, and I have a question for you. When was the last time you tried a 100% varietal Mourvèdre, or Mourvèdre if you prefer, or perhaps you prefer Monastrell? Well, in answer to my own question, I tried one about a week ago at Dahlman Cellars in their Tacoma Stadium District tasting room, Tacoma, Washington, and just loved tasting their wines. My husband and I went and tasted through several and really enjoyed the experience. And we picked up a bottle of the 2021 100% Mourvèdre wine. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about the backstory of Dahlman Cellars, and then we're going to be tasting through this fabulous wine. So I hope you'll stick around. So the backstory of Dahlman Cellars, we're not going to go through every detail or we'd be here for a long time, but I do think it's a really interesting, cool, and charming story actually. So it turns out, well, Jim and Andrea Dahlman are Dahlman Cellars, and Jim was making wine in their garage for many years, and it turned out to be pretty good stuff. So there was a point where there was so much wine in the garage that Andrea's like, dude, we got to either scale back or start a winery. So luckily for Tacoma residents, they started a winery. So 2019 was the year that they went commercial, and then 2022 they opened their first tasting room. Another interesting tidbit though, Andrea was raised in Fircrest, and she thought it would be kind of a cool thing to set up shop near there, so Tacoma area. They could have just as easily chosen Woodinville or gone to Eastern Washington, but they really thought about this. Like, well, do we want to go to where everyone else is? I mean, Woodinville is, at this point, let's face it, quite saturated. I mean, it's a really fun place to visit and go wine tasting, but there's a lot there. But Tacoma is, at this point at least, underserved, if you will, in that regard. There are a few tasting rooms, wineries around Ginkgo, Brown, but that was a very powerful decision, and I really love the thinking behind that. So very cool. And so now let's get into some of this wine. Okay, let's open this screw cap. Is dark grapey right away. Very cool. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Mourvèdre just for a moment. This, of course, is a varietal variety that is originally from Spain. So Monastrell is what it is called in Spain. And of course, it's seen in France as well. Southern Rhône, Provence, Languedoc, Roussillon, and is many times used as a blending grape, adding depth and a kick and complex flavor. And there's also the GSM, the triple threat, if you will, Grenache, Syrah, Mourvèdre. And this is also grown in California, Australia, and South Africa as well. And then it's more rare to see it as a 100% varietal, and that's what actually struck me when I saw Dahlman created such a 100% varietal wine. And so that is very exciting, and it is quite lovely. Okay, so just a couple other little tidbits about the Mourvèdre grape. It is very small, thick-skinned, and likes a lot of heat. So you might be wondering, if you don't know a lot about Washington State wine scene, you might be wondering, well, why are they growing it in Washington State? Well, because east of the Cascade Range, it's semi-arid to arid country. And the grapes in this bottle were grown Mataró vineyard within the Wahluke Slope American Viticultural Area. It happens to be south-facing and extremely dry, gritty, sandy soils, and one of the hottest, unforgiving landscapes in Washington State, as it turns out, receiving, I think, 6 inches per rainfall per year on average. So this is actually great for Mourvèdre, Monastrell. And so it's a great site for this grape. And yeah, so let's get into tasting. Dark, hard-edged, almost brooding. That's how Karen McNeil characterizes some of the Monastrells that she's tried. So we'll see what this one holds for us. And now let's look at the color, shall we? This is a deep garnet, ruby red, medium to dark ruby red color. It's gorgeous. One other aspect of the Mourvèdre that is grown in the hotter regions to its more southern and hotter regions climate-wise, you're going to get more of those dark fruits to come out, and you're going to get more of a jammy sense as well. So I'm getting definitely some dark fruit, dark plum, blackberry, essence of raspberry in there, some pepper. Getting a little bit of pepper. Some pencil lead graphite. Smells velvety, and I haven't even taken a sip. Okay, taking a sip. Okay. Mouth filling. Fruit everywhere, but it's beautifully balanced and got your tannin there working its way through, giving structure. This is 15.3 alcohol by volume. A lot of the Monastrells are higher in alcohol, seeing as the fruit has seen more sun, more heat. That's another thing about Eastern Washington. You get that wonderful diurnal shift. The land heats up during the day during the growing season, and then there's a shift at night due to elevation change and continentality, all those things. So very cool. Lots of dark fruits, blackberry, hints of vanilla too dotted in there, at least for me. Black plum. This is a fabulous wine, and I'm so glad that we have it. Have to get some more, but yeah, so that's my tasting, and I highly recommend visiting Dahlman Cellars in Tacoma if you haven't, or if you're visiting and you happen to see this YouTube video, check it out. You'll enjoy it. I believe their hours are Thursday through Sunday, and the winemakers and owners, Andrea and Jim, are there Fridays and Saturdays pouring, usually. We were there on Sunday, so we did not get to meet them, but we did enjoy Kira and Roy very much. Great hosts, and made it really fun. And it's sort of it's very casual, like a living room kind of place. And there's a lot of foot traffic, and you're in a beautiful neighborhood with gorgeous Victorians and bungalows, and then there's the park right down the lane. I mean, it's a really cool spot. Thank you so much for joining me today as we delved into Dahlman Cellars and their wonderful 100% Mourvèdre wine. I hope you'll join me next time. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, I would love it if you would. If you enjoyed this video, yes, I'm a small business owner, so I'm always busy, but these are really fun for me, and I like connecting with you who are also presumably wine lovers. So also, leave in the comments if you've been to Dahlman Cellars. I love to hear what you have to say, your impressions. And thanks so much for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye. Cheers.